What's going on, everybody? Simple back at it like I'm checking my height. Today we're checking out whatever happened to acid rain. I remember growing up when I was a kid that we had a lot of problems with acid rain, I guess, ruining ecosystems, and people were really, really worried that it was going to start ruining the marine life around, at least my area that I can remember. I feel like this was like back in the 90s. I don't know, but we're going to find out whatever happened to it. If you guys enjoy this, make sure you head on over to the Content Creators channel. Show them some support over there. If you want to get your request up here as well, check out the Google form down in the description. All right, let's go.
In 1963, scientists studying Hubbard Brook Experimental Forest in New Hampshire made a
Hey!
shocking
Hubbard Brook! Why did I knew I recognized that name. Shout out NH, baby. Let's go.
studying Hubbard Brook Experimental Forest in New Hampshire made a shocking discovery. Their most recent rainfall samples were nearly 100 times more acidic than usual. At these levels, additional downpours of acid rain would destroy the region's marine and arboreal ecosystems in a matter of decades. Urgently sharing their findings with fellow researchers, they were determined to answer two questions. What was causing this deadly rainfall, and what could be done to stop it? Rain is never just composed of water. Chemicals and particulates in the atmosphere can be found in every drop, and some compounds, like carbon dioxide.
That's why I always thought it was weird to like catch the rain with your mouth. Something about water, right, evaporating off of a dirty street back into a cloud that's probably flown around the entire world and picked up all kinds of weird shit. I don't think I want to be putting it into my mouth.
Make even regular
Even though it is a lot of fun,
slightly
right?
acidic. But this pales in comparison to the powerful acids produced when water interacts with oxides of nitrogen or sulfur dioxide. On the pH scale, which measures acidity, each whole number is 10 times more acidic than the one above it. And where normal rain has a pH of roughly 5.4, rain that's interacted with these gases can rank as low as 3.7. Oxides of nitrogen and sulfur dioxide can appear naturally as a short-lived byproduct of volcanic eruptions or lightning strikes. But power plants, refineries, and vehicles that use fossil fuels consistently pump large quantities into the air. These dangerous gases
Keep catching that
travel
rain
with
with
the
your
wind,
mouth.
spreading hundreds of kilometers from the pollution's source, acting
Remember how they always used to say it must be something in the water?
like roaming clouds of destruction. Their presence dramatically increases the acidity of local precipitation, creating acid rain, acid snow, and acid fog. These all acidify lakes and streams, kill crops and forests, and damage soil to inhibit future growth. Over time, acid rain can even corrode human structures.
Now, obviously, the switch was to a very dismal, barren land, right? But tell me that switch out wasn't so cool. That little fade thing he did. Look at that.
Growth.
That looks cool.
Over time,
Awesome
acid
editing.
rain can even corrode human structures made of stone or metal. By the 1970s, scientists in North America and Europe classified acid rain as a major environmental threat. But despite clear evidence tying the problem to air pollution, companies denied responsibility and cast doubt on the research.
Yeah, of course they did. See, that's the type of stuff that should be illegal, right? You shouldn't be able to cast doubt on truthful research. If we want to move forward as a civilization, as people, then we need to be honest with one another. And unfortunately, money is the root of evil. As you can see here. Look at this dude in his green tie.
In the United States, corporations lobbied against regulating pollution and convinced politicians that such policies would raise energy costs and threaten jobs. These obstacles led the government to delay changes.
What's even more sad is that I can guarantee it didn't go down like that. I can guarantee that the big G right there was like, you know what? You guys make money. We're going to charge you more in taxes. Is that all right? And they're like, you know what? That's cool with us. Just as long as we get to keep making money. Okay.
and mandate further research into the issue. But after a decade of mounting concern, Congress finally took action.
Oh,
Since
it took 10 more years, so we're up to the 80s now, or mid-80s, I guess, at this point. Almost the
the
90s,
bulk
though.
of sulfur dioxide emissions came from power plants, the government set a limit on the total amount of it the electric power sector could emit each year. Then, they divided the permitted emissions into a fixed number of allowances distributed to each power plant. A plant could then choose to emit as much sulfur dioxide as they were allowed, or reduce their emissions and sell their unused allowances to other power plants.
So that should be something that isn't allowed either. Why would you be allowed to sell your unused allowance? Just eliminate the damn problem. Stop giving ways out for everybody to fix things and to keep going in life. Like, survival of the fittest, right? And if your company is not willing to comply, it's the same shit with YouTube, right? Everybody thinks that we are on this platform and this is like, I can say whatever I want, I can do whatever I want, I can give you whatever material I want. And the sad reality of it all is, kiddies, is it's a big fucking lie. That's not the truth at all. See, the truth of YouTube is that they provide us a platform, right? And it is up to us to become a business on said platform. I'm sorry, I just got lost. I blew some ashes off my desk. I'm totally lost now. Regardless, this isn't the way shit should be done.
This system, known as cap and trade, offered power plants the economic flexibility to keep costs low while strictly limiting pollution.
No.
Many critics called these allowances.
I can guarantee what actually happened is people sold their allowances and produced as much as they wanted to anyway. I mean, how are you going to regulate a gas coming out of a stack? And how do you think they're not going to fake numbers? Come on. There's two parts to that question.
Licenses to pollute, or said the government was selling clean air. But since the cap was set to lower 5 years into the program, it forced every utility company to reduce emissions in the long term.
Wow.
Some plants added desulfurizing scrubbers to their smokestacks.
Little tiny upgrades that we could just do from the get-go, but people don't want to because they want to get in. This is so sad how we run economies around here, people. What the fuck?
Or switched to low-sulfur coal and natural gas. Oxides of nitrogen emissions were also
I love this documentary. We'll be watching more of this stuff.
These advances allowed the power sector to grow while the cap kept pollution under control. By 1985, Canada and the European Union adopted their own solutions, and international treaties began circulating to reduce air pollution worldwide. Today, this science-driven economic policy has largely eliminated acid rain across the United States and Canada. And while many ecosystems still need time to recover, scientists have sped up the restoration of other areas.
Too bad they couldn't do the same thing for asbestos.
By reintroducing essential organisms killed off by acid rain. Some countries like Russia, India, and China still rely heavily on high sulfur coal.
And that's part of our problem, right? We all live on the same planet. So if half the people on the other side of the world are doing something completely different because they don't give two shits about what the rest of the world is trying to do to protect it, then at what point does something get done, right? You can't force another nation to do anything. But at the same time, we all live on the planet together. If there's people out there that don't care about other people, isn't that a type of atrocity? Just saying.
Continue to struggle with the environmental consequences. However, acid rain's relatively quick journey from major threat to minor issue is rightly celebrated as a victory for policies that protect the environment. Cap and trade can't solve every environmental problem, but by using scientific consensus to guide policy, adopting efficient technology, and being unafraid to impose reasonable costs for pollution, countries can stop a growing storm of destruction before it's too late.
Now, see, I also feel like if there weren't hands coming in from every direction to help things, right? And we're actually under some like type of substantial like warning, like this is going to happen if we don't change this, or you're all going to perish if you don't change this. Like, I feel like it would take effect a lot more, right? But the sad reality is there's not enough people out there that actually give a shit about the world they live in, because they've been jaded from something that's happened to them in their lives, unfortunately, and they've lost care for the rest of everybody else. It's a sad reality, man. It's sad.
For an example of a country that took decisive action to solve a problem, let's talk about the Netherlands.
Oh, bro, I'm coming. You know we're doing it. Dutchies, we're on our way, baby.
Surge killed nearly 2,000 people. The Dutch government created the Delta Works, the
Yeah,
most sophisticated
buddy.
flood prevention system in the world.
See, and that is what it looks like when you have have a problem that is making people perish, and you find a fucking solution. It's called the Delta Works. We could all learn from stuff like this. Like,
Find out how it keeps the Netherlands above water with this video.
it's probably an epic video. You know we're definitely going to be checking that out. Definitely make sure you guys head on over to their channel. Show them some support over there. Let them know Simple sent you. Let them know we're going to dig into some of their stuff. Hopefully they don't come back and strike the crap out of us. But is what it is. I appreciate you guys for stopping by. Make sure you check out one of the other couple videos. And I'll catch you on the next one.